From the BG Podcast Network studios, brought to you by Chattahoochee Tech, this is your Paulding County News Podcast, bringing our stories to life with news, events, and what we're talking about in Paulding County. Like, follow, and subscribe to hear the latest news from the Paulding County News Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. For you, about you, from you. Call us now to get in on the conversation at 404-997-8655. That's 404-997-8655 or info@bgadgroup.com. And here's what you're talking about.
Welcome to your Paulding County News Podcast. I'm Melissa Carter along with Doug Harding. Big changes in SEC football. We're going to talk about it. Plus, one of your favorite albums as a kid is about to hit the stage. Which one is it? You guess while we'll take a look at our top stories. In his annual State of the State speech, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp unveiled a set of legislative priorities, including a comprehensive budget plan for the state. Well, what does that mean? Well, the proposal outlines a $306 million allocation in the amended fiscal year 24 budget to provide a $1,000 pay supplement for all state employees and K through 12 teachers. Looking ahead to fiscal year 25, Kemp's plan includes $630 million to implement a 4% cost of living adjustment for state employees and a $2,500 salary increase for K through 12 teachers and other certified personnel. So people who are really paying attention to this story are the state employees and teachers. Now, further details of the proposal encompass an additional year of $1,000 retention bonuses for state educators. It's fancy language, along with a 4% cost of living adjustment capped at $3,000 per person. So in other words, teachers going to get a little more money, state employees going to get a little more money. This from WSB.
I think teachers should get more than just a 4%. They deserve at least 10.
Agreed. At least.
There's been a significant increase in the number of firearms intercepted at Georgia's federalized airports in 2023, with a focus on Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. The TSA reported that 93% of the firearms intercepted at airports across the U.S. were loaded. The increase in the number of firearms intercepted is linked to a rise in the number of passengers. The TSA stated that in Georgia, the rate of firearms detected was more than double the national rate. Specifically, there was one firearm discovery for every 61,646 passengers screened in the state. This from WSB. Okay,
guns. Hold
on a second here. Don't you have the mindset if you're going to bring a gun on the plane, you might want to unload it?
You would think. Like, I mean, my father had one loaded gun in the house that was next to him, right? Every other gun in the house was unloaded. The bullets were locked away. And my dad was a Army vet, so he was a sharpshooter. So I'm used to him and his security measures for guns, but there are some people out there, I don't want a gun in their hand. Honestly, it's just they don't know what they're doing. First National Community Bank has announced plans for a groundbreaking ceremony at its newest full-service banking facility in Paulding County. The ceremony is scheduled for January 26th at 104 Village Walk in Dallas. I've never been to a groundbreaking ceremony. There's shovels and ribbons. The branch is scheduled to open in the second quarter pending regulatory approvals. FNCB currently operates 10 branches in Northwest Georgia with a focus on growth opportunities in Paulding and West Cobb County. The new Dallas branch aims to provide in-branch, online, mobile banking solutions, offering a wide variety for consumer and commercial products and services. So this from the Marietta Daily Journal. It's good to have more businesses come to Paulding County.
Right. Well, what I got out of that story is, where can I find a pair of those huge scissors they use?
Exactly. Where do those come from? And then what do you do after the fact? Coming up, UGA is accused of some serious violations regarding recruiting. But now let's check the weather for Paulding County.
It's all thanks to Angie Chavez Realty. Sunny today, high of 45 and a low of 24. Monday, it'll be partly sunny with a high of 41 and a low of 28. A cloudy Tuesday will bring bitter cold temperatures. Oh boy, high of just 33 and a low of 13.
A low of 13 on Tuesday. No. I want spring back.
98.7 Chat Tech, where 98.7% of our students earn a career.
But if you start with the paralegal program and the way they've shaped it, not all of them, but the majority of your classes, especially once they get the accreditation, are transferable to law schools.
I was currently residing in Kennesaw during the time of my enrollment, and I was looking for a good local automotive program that can really walk me through the steps. But I never really took the step forward to actually go to class and go to school for it. And so I was just talking to people in the area, and they mentioned, Chattahoochee Tech and its amazing automotive program. Just happens to be local. And so I went over there and really liked what I saw.
So most of the students that we recruit from Chattahoochee Tech are typically in their construction management certificate program. So they're students that are interested in starting a career in construction, and they go there to get the construction management certificate.
Visit chattahoocheetech.edu, where 98.7% of our students earn a career.
When it comes to solving complex engineering challenges, there's only one name you need to know: Engineered Solutions of Georgia. Our team of experts has years of experience and uses the latest technology to provide innovative solutions for all your home needs. From foundation repair to waterproofing and drainage solutions, we've got you covered. We work with both residential and commercial clients, and we're committed to providing excellent customer service every step of the way. And with our state-of-the-art equipment and top quality materials, you can be confident that your project will be completed to the highest standards. So why settle for less when you can have the best? Call Engineered Solutions of Georgia today to schedule your free consultation and see how we can help you tackle any engineering challenge.
Engineered Solutions of Georgia. We guarantee a stable, dry foundation. Residential and commercial. Hey, we do it all. Dial 678 ESOG now.
We're back with more of your Paulding County News Podcast.
From CNN's Facebook page, a woman in Ohio has been arrested and charged with theft after she allegedly lied about her child having cancer to collect thousands of dollars in donations. Ryan Fleming said, "Ohio, go figure." Stephanie Dorr responded, "And her kids should forget about her for life and death because she doesn't get the privilege of being a mom or even an actual human being." And Sophia Cotillard said, "I see these GoFundMe pages and always wonder if they really need that help because later you see those same individuals eating out somewhere fancy or on vacation." I hate the bad seeds that make people, for instance, what Sophia said, I hate the bad seeds that make people then distrust everybody who's trying to raise money for their kids.
Right. And you know something? That's not an unheard of story. I've heard that story multiple times.
Yes.
It wasn't there. What's her name that just got out of prison that she and her boyfriend killed her mom? That was the same scenario.
Same scenario. And then what's that syndrome where you can actually make your child sick? There's parents who make their children sick so that they show symptoms of a disease they don't have. It's just so sad. From AJC's Facebook page, an amended complaint from a former UGA recruiting analyst who was in the crash that killed Georgia football player Devin Willock and staffer Chandler LaCroix claims drinking and driving by staffers was a regular occurrence at Georgia recruiting events. Now, Georgia is denying these allegations, but there is this investigation going on. Yuman Fondurma responded, "It's the culture, how they wine and dine players and recruits, so American." Cleve McCurry said, "Anyone surprised?" And then John Wolfe said, "When winning trumps all else, really bad things are bound to happen."
There's some big bucks going on in college football, so...
Yeah, it's not just UGA, right? But
no.
UGA's I always think it's this revolving spotlight, right? And we'll see if anything comes of it, but just sad that people died because of it. Today's word story coming from 11 Alive, where online retailer eBay Inc. will pay a $3 million fine to settle criminal charges related to a harassment campaign conducted by its employees against a Massachusetts couple. The Justice Department is involved. They charged eBay with stalking, witness tampering, and obstruction of justice. This is eBay. Well, the campaign involves sending live spiders, cockroaches, and other disturbing items to David and Ina Steiner, who produced an online newsletter that was critical of eBay. And this was their retaliation. The harassment began in 2019 after the Steiners published a story about a lawsuit between eBay and Amazon. The couple has also filed a federal lawsuit against eBay, describing how the cyber stalking disrupted their lives. I'm amazed that people at eBay were like, oh, don't you say bad words about us and send them bugs.
You know something? I've heard multiple stories about this. This couple is not alone.
Really?
Yeah.
Look, I'm not a big fan of the fact that you can't be critical about something and then the scare tactics to try to shut you up. That's like, that's like gang activity. That's like mafia activity. Now it's eBay activity.
What's happening in Paulding County? We've got you covered.
And some events to tell you about. January 20th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., it's Tractor Supply Pet Appreciation Day on Greystone Power Boulevard in Dallas. January 22nd from 10 a.m. to noon, Grief Share at Dallas First United Methodist Church. And February 3rd, beginning at 8 a.m., Singled Out Christian Singles Conference at East Paulding High School. That is in Dallas.
Do you have the travel bug? Well, coming up, we're going to talk to Jerry Singletary with Adventure Dreams Travel in Hiram about where the most popular places to travel are and what are the top mistakes that people make when it comes to vacationing. That's coming up right after this.
Angie Chavez is an experienced real estate agent serving Paulding, Cobb, and other counties in Georgia for 24 years. She is dedicated to serving her clients and has extensive knowledge of the West Georgia real estate market. Angie has won numerous awards for her sales production and is a $1 million member of the National Board of Realtors. She specializes in new home construction and is an accredited buyer agent. Angie is also passionate about giving back and supporting military, veterans, teachers, and public servants. Whether buying or selling, Angie Chavez with Atlanta Communities is the right choice. Call her today at 404-401-0739 or visit her website at angiechavez.atlcommunities.com. Hey, unlike others, Angie will call you back if you don't reach her the first time. That's 404-401-0739.
Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Paulding County News Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
All of our feature interview pieces here on the Paulding County News Podcast are presented by Credit Union of Georgia.
Let's meet some of the interesting people in our neighborhood.
Jerry Singletary from Adventure Dreams Travel joins us now. Thank you so much, Jerry, for your time. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be on.
You had told me off air, is that how long have you done the travel business there in Hiram?
We're in our 7th year now.
Congratulations. And I had said off air, and maybe we can address this. I said, well, boy, I bet the past few years have been rough for the travel industry. But Jerry, you were able to sustain the business and keep it going through COVID.
Yes, we traveled and showed people that you still could travel. Certain countries were shut down. Some had rules. That's the importance of using a travel agent to know all that so you can go somewhere.
I think that's probably my limitation, Jerry. So I purposely wanted to talk to you because I think I'm getting the travel bug again. And I'm one of those that I need ideas, right? So talk a little bit about for people who maybe, look, I haven't traveled in a while for whatever reason, but I need to get back out there. What's the importance of working with the travel agent? What can you tell them? And then what are some ideas that they can come up with?
Well, the importance of working with a travel agent is we have industry expertise. We know properties. In most cases, we've been there. If we have not been there, we have colleagues or other agents that we reach out to and network with to understand what to watch out for. We work together. Different ideas of places to go. We qualify the clients and kind of find out what they like in life, and we try to match that to what they may like to do. All-inclusive resorts have been very popular in recent years. Cruising has definitely increased almost twofold with the amount of every ship here lately is full.
I was perusing, again, trying to get ideas on adventuredreamstravel.com and these Caribbean cruises. For me, cruising helps me see multiple places, right? Instead of me having to fly to St. Thomas or fly to the Bahamas or do something singular.
Yeah, cruising is very popular because you can get on one ship and visit multiple locations and not have to pack your bag every night or every 2 nights. All the food, entertainment is all included. Some of them have some extras. Some of those extras are included depending on what cruise line that you're with. At Adventure Dreams Travel, we have relationships with every cruise line, all the popular cruise lines that people like to use. we ourselves actually cruise these lines. I've actually have had 5 cruises planned in the next 7 months, and all 5 of these cruises are with different companies. So I can experience personally each cruise line to know, the good things and the bad things, or just understand them a lot better to what a client may be looking for.
First of all, let me point out that that's really important that you know your product, right? You're not just sending people off on something you're not aware of. I'm assuming most travel agents would be that way, but there's always bad, apples in a bunch. And so it's good to know that, look, you're local, you're in Hiram, you've been on these cruises, you know what you're talking about. So friends, they either love cruising or they've never been on a cruise. And I don't know what the anxiety is about not being on a cruise, but it seems like there's no middle ground when it comes to it.
Some people just may have been once when they were young and they just had a bad experience, so they don't ever want to go back. I never went when I was young, so I got involved with it some years ago and absolutely love it. We go boating and camping ourselves during the summer, so it's a perfect match. Utilizing a travel agent to do and book these things, you can get online and do it yourself. Each cruise line makes it very easy, but if you've never been, it is important to work with a travel agent so you do have that expertise. And better yet, work with a travel agent because you're supporting a local business. At Adventure Dreams Travel, we do not charge for our services. We actually get paid by the supplier that we use for the client's trip. And that also goes, for cruising, all-inclusive resorts, or even a U.S.-based vacation. We can do all that.
So that fits into people's budget, because that may be another misconception people have for not traveling is I can't afford it.
In most cases, on all of the trips that, we work with, it's trip specific, but the majority of them, we can make a deposit and then make payments throughout the booking time and then have to be paid off, by a certain time prior to travel. Let's just say Sandals Resort, I can't afford that. Well, if you plan it a year or 2 out, you can afford that because you can make small payments throughout the time that it can, and there's a payoff date just prior to the actual trip. So it gives people a different mindset. Planning a trip here after COVID has also got to where you need to start instead of, the 3 or 4 months prior to when you think you may want to go, it's working to 6 months to a year or even a year and a half and 2 years out to plan these trips. If not, if you're waiting the last minute, there's no availability.
It's not just cruises. I mean, I mentioned cruises, but I mean, again, if you go to adventuredreamstravel.com, you can see the pictures. I mean, Jerry posts all the pictures of the trips and you can get an idea of where they go. Kennedy Space Center is here, Las Vegas. I mean, talk about some of the diversity within the trips people can choose from.
In October, we did an MSC cruise. We go down to Port Canaveral and sail out of there quite often, but I want to do different excursions or experiences each time I go to make each one of them different. And I've never been to Kennedy Space Center, so it was really neat. We drove in and then we started there and got into Kennedy Space Center for the day. We toured the facility and they had the Atlantis space shuttle, which was the last one to do a mission there on display. So that was just very, very intriguing, great for all ages. But then we got checked into our hotel. They're local in Cocoa Beach, and I always travel the day before I get on a cruise ship. I'm not going to do the last minute, and I suggest them, customers that are flying in, that not wait till last minute because you don't know what happens with flights. So then we go to the port and have dinner at a local restaurant right on the port, and you can watch all the cruise ships sail out the day before if they're sailing out. So we have a good time, have an early dinner there. And then that evening, we finished it off with a SpaceX launch. So it was really neat. I'd never seen a rocket launch before. So we started the day in the Space Center and finished it up at Jetty Park there and watched a rocket launch. So it was exciting. Trips, you can do that, though, and everywhere you go, you can do something fun and exciting for your family.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned all ages. I assume you have people who have different needs, where you have families that come in and say, we need to have something that will entertain and keep our children's attention. And then I'm sure you have people who come in and say, I don't want to be around any kids at all. So you can request what you want and you can get it.
Yes, we can find it.
Before we go, Jerry, is there one common mistake that people make when it comes to traveling?
Actually, there's 2 of them.
Okay.
Questioning the fact whether I need a passport or not on cruising. because you can do a cruise with your birth certificate and a government issue ID. But if something was to happen while you're in another country, then you need to fly home. You can't fly home
without a passport.
So that's very important. And then travel coverage. Never travel out of the country without protection. In the event that you have, if something was to happen and you needed emergency medical evacuation, those policies in most cases will cover that.
So, Jerry Singletary, thank you. Is there a way that you prefer people to get in touch with you if they want? If they're like, you know what, I agree with Melissa, I'm ready for a trip. How would they reach out to you?
They can visit me on my Facebook page at Adventure Dreams Travel, my website, adventuredreamstravel.com. My phone number is 770-769-0101, or they can just text me. That phone is with me all the time, so there's multiple ways to reach out to me so we can get the clients the right information that they need, and they'll get them on the vacation of their lifetime.
Fantastic. Jerry, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Whether you're new to church, have been a Christian for many years, or looking for a fresh start, you're welcome at New Season Church. New Season is a place where people can believe in God, belong to a family of believers, and become fully devoted followers. We exist so that people far from God may experience life in Christ and become fully engaged followers. Join us for one of our 2 Sunday services, 9 or 11 a.m.
Hi, this is Pastor Steve Flockhart. Whether you're new to the Paulding community or have been here since the day you were born, New Season Church is a place where all are welcome. From our exciting children and student ministries to our engaging Bible studies and small groups and events, I promise New Season Church has a place for you.
New Season Church, just off Highway 278 at 4457 Atlanta Highway in Hiram. We exist so that people far from God may experience life in Christ and become fully engaged followers. New Season looks forward to seeing your entire family this Sunday, and feel free to check us out online at newseason.cc. We believe what comes into our minds when we think about God is the most important thing about us. We look forward to seeing you Sunday at 9 or 11 a.m. at New Season Church in Hiram.
We're back with more of your Paulding County News Podcast.
Breaking records, over 1.2 million Georgians have enrolled in health insurance plans on the Affordable Care Act marketplace, contributing to a nationwide surge that's reached 20 million enrollees. This milestone expands Georgia's private insurance role significantly. The ACA, which is also known as Obamacare, provides premium subsidies for those unable to afford insurance independently but earn too much for Medicaid. And also, to me, it's so many more people are doing remote work, so many people are doing independent work. And if you don't have a company giving you health insurance, you got to find it for yourself. That's from Melissa. With a few days remaining until the January 16th deadline, this surge reflects a substantial increase in ACA plan memberships nationally. So it keeps growing.
Your sports from the AJC. In high school basketball, the South Paulding boys posted a narrow 70-65 win over New Manchester. Checking college football, Alabama's head coach Nick Saban has announced his retirement after 7 national titles.
Yay! Can I say it? Yay!
Well, you have to say what team you're for first.
I'm for Tennessee, but I think every other SEC team is going, yay! So, it's time for Alabama to step aside.
I'll be interested to see how many recruits are now balking on going to Alabama.
Agreed. Right.
And the Braves have settled with both Max Fried and A.J. Minter to avoid arbitration hearings. And the Hawks snapped a 2-game losing streak with their first win over the 76ers in 3 tries this season, 139-132.
All right. Well, we told you earlier about one of your favorite albums as a kid making it to the stage. Well, here's the story. Producer Orrin Wolf has announced the development of a stage musical adaptation of Purple Rain.
How cool.
Yes, the iconic 1984 film that catapulted Prince to stardom. Wolf, known for producing the Tony Award-winning The Band's Visit, has enlisted playwright Brandon Jacobs Jenkins to write the musical's book and director Liliana Blaine Cruz to helm the production. Details about the musical's premiere date and venue are yet to be revealed. Now, Prince's estate and music rights were only settled in 2022, so that's why this is coming up now. And that, of course, was 6 years after the artist's death. This from NPR. I'm definitely going to see this musical.
Oh, that is going to be so great.
And we'll have final thoughts after this.
I love technology as much as anybody, but when banks replace people with machines, I had to draw a line. I've been with the same bank for 20 plus years, and as cool as technology is, I believe the relationship you have with your bank is an important one. My wife used to bake cookies for the people who worked at our bank. They were our friends. But in the last couple of years, they were all replaced by video tellers. Recently, I sold a vehicle and was paid in cash. I went to deposit it and was told my now former bank no longer accepts cash. Okay. That was it for me. I joined Credit Union of Georgia, a homegrown, not-for-profit cooperative that still offers personalized customer service, a network of more than 30,000 ATMs, and convenient locations. Innovation is great, but trust and relationships still matter, particularly where it comes to your finances. Make the switch today. Get more info at cuofga.org. Credit Union of Georgia, the better way to bank.
Thanks for listening to today's Paulding County News Podcast. Follow and subscribe to hear the latest news from the Paulding County News Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. For you, about you, and from you. Get involved in the conversation at 404-997-8655 or info@bgadgroup.com. Did you know over 50% of Americans listen to podcasts weekly? Make sure you join us for our next episode and be sure to share this podcast on social media with your friends and family. Add us to your Alexa Flash Briefing or your Google Home Briefing, and be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
This podcast is a production of BG Ad Group. All rights reserved.
This podcast aggregate content from other sources for informational purposes and is in no way trying to infringe on the copyrights or businesses of any other entities. All content posted up on the site is used under the Fair Use Copyright Law 107. All audio, media, and articles are copyrighted to the original owners. All audio in this podcast are embedded from YouTube.com and are owned by their respective copyright owners. No audio information are copyrighted or stored on our servers. The court ruled that linking or embedding copyrighted videos is not copyright infringement, even if the source video was uploaded without permission. However, we will gladly remove any audio clip upon valid request from respective copyright owners. Any owners also have the option to disable embedding his YouTube videos on other websites. News and press articles are owned by the respective copyright owners. Where possible, the appropriate accreditation or source of the article is given on the same page. The audio-video files on this site are for listening purposes only. Downloading of these files to one's computer is strictly prohibited. They are owned by the respective copyright owners. If it is in the organization's belief that the usage or specific content used on our site containing copyrighted knowledge conflicts with authorized use and or does not comply with fair use as described in the context, contact us through our contact page and we will remove the offending content immediately. Thanks for listening to the Paulding County News Podcast.